tuning into the Black Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African.
It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Many late nights when she's all alone. Because you wanna wrap me in a cold. She needs just a friend like me. Like me. Told her friends that I treat her right. And I love to find more days. She's so good, just to be around. A lot of times you don't go away. She's just a friend, just a friend. Like a friend, like she's just a friend. Like me, she's just a friend. Like me, like me. Can't pretend that's why she's asking me again.
And you're tuning into the Black Fire Radio, and you're listening to.
Yes, karibuni sana family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Good afternoon, good evening. From my end, it is exactly 30 minutes past the top of the hour, and of course, welcome to yet another beautiful discussion of the Africa Today Show. This is the media of the 21st century, the Black Fire Network radio station. My name is Joby. For those who are here for the first time, everyone live with us on Twitter, everyone live with us on YouTube, everyone live with us on TikTok, on the show page, on the TV, on our Amazon TV, on the Roku TV. We're soon coming on the Android TV, so ensure you have the application of the Black Fire Network radio station, so you can stay connected on all those platforms. You're also very active on Rumble, on BitChute, which the show shall be uploaded automatically because Demore and Kid decided to take my time right here with their discussion. But anyway, thank you so much for giving it the Black Fire Network. Today, of course, we shall be talking about Janet Jackson, whom during the weekend made a very amazing statement or comment regarding, of course, Kamala Harris. In an interview, Janet Jackson claimed, that is what they are saying, that she did claim, which it is facts actually, that Kamala Harris isn't black, and predicted that the aftermath of the election, and of course we'll be talking much more about that as we get to continue. If we shall bump into videos, we shall be discussing on that. Of course, I'll be sharing much more on that. But of course, karibuni sana once again. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Welcome, and of course subscribe in case you're here for the first time. Before we get started, I have an amazing quote to share for today as we get to the debate of the day, as I get to share this amazing video here, as we get to break it down before Mr. Blackwoodfire gets to join us, of course, as we continue with our conversation. And the quote said, how come black folks have mega churches but don't have mega banks or mega schools? And I liked that one literally because it is the reality. How comes black folks have mega churches? Because on Sunday, actually, and which I'm going to try this Sunday, on Sunday I was to record for you guys a video which I did illustrate some time back here, where there's this certain slum where I literally, majority of the times during the weekends, I'm always around there, like, just passing by. So this slum, there is a very big church, and the church is super, super clean. like very well maintained. The condition is very, very good, but the condition of majority of the people living in that environment is super, super pathetic. So I'm gonna try this weekend, record a video for you guys, and you see it's actually a very, very big church. Like it's a mega church. So the question is, how comes black folks have mega churches but don't have mega banks or mega schools? Because number one, if you have mega banks, of course that creates wealth opportunity for youth African people. Colonizers for so long kept control of resources, kept control of power, and which has benefited them and ensuring that Africans remain on the bottom. Because if we control our own even currency, we know that in Africa, which hints back to our natural resources, the gold, the silver, the cobalt, the everything you want to talk about, the oil, it's gonna literally enrich us as African people. We're gonna go back to the ancient times of the Mansa Musa period, literally. But they have ensured we have mega churches, not mega banks, and of course, we're not gonna have mega schools because it starts there. Once you're given information that outsmarts your master, of course that's not going to be given to you. There's nowhere where they have actually set any sort of education system that has ensured black people are going to learn what benefits them. Like I was saying even earlier today, when you talk about the natural resources, countries like Ghana, whom we've seen that on Monday they're going to be facing a national-wide lockdown, and this is because of the demonstration that took place yesterday. These demonstrations are calling out on bad literally economic mismanagement, lack of job opportunities, and illegal mining crisis, which majority of the African countries, or in majority of the cases, has led to so many number of deaths. Because again, the question is, how comes these illegal mining centers, like I questioned today on my show, how comes they have tractors? Who's funding these tractors if these are illegal centers? How comes they're gaining? Who's funding the tractors over there? You know? But it goes back to all the cartels and everyone you want to talk about. But of course, as we get started, again, I'm going to ask, how comes black people have mega churches, but not mega banks or schools? You figure out. But of course, as we figure out, I have this video to share right here of this white guy here. He's always stating facts, literally in majority of the cases, historically, and here he talks about how history is a ledger, and he goes all the way to the African continent. It's control. The people control, the elites who control power and the world. But take a listen as you get.
History is different from time. I think that it's a mistake to not understand that. Time is a linear progression. History is not. History is what we have made of time. It's a ledger, which means that the past is always interacting with the present and influencing the future. This is the case for individuals.
Which I agree with very completely, because personally I'm a high believer for learning daily about my history, about what happened to my ancestors, about what is affecting me today as an African person. It has to go back to history. I need to understand what really happened back then for me to be able to connect to today's current situation. And which majority of us, again, like we go back to the quote again, we're not given mega schools because they don't want us to be educated of our history, which takes us back to the mega banks, which is our resources, which we really had. And this is why they have mega churches built, because they want to keep us indoctrinated and not full of all this information. So he's actually starting this video very correctly and very importantly. So let me start again.
History is different from time. I think that it's a mistake to not understand that.
Exactly.
Time is a linear progression. History is not. History is what we have made of time. It's a ledger, which means that the past is always interacting with the present and influencing the future.
Yeah.
This is the case for individuals, and it's the case for nations.
Yeah, because if I try to look at how our ancient, or rather how our people were affected through history, how we Africans were affected by history, it is actually affecting us today. Because slowly, as much as we're tapping back into information, it has taken so much time and literally hundreds of years, these people ruling us and keeping all this information and history away from us. So yep, I do agree. It's an interaction of past and present. It's an interaction of time, literally.
It's true individually and it's true collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do is a transaction. You purchase your deeds, your actions on credit, and the eventual payment is rendered in the currency of consequences. Again, this is true for individuals and it's true for nations. And history is a record of all those transactions and how they get settled. It's an audit detailing the balancing of the books. So at any given moment in the present, you're both settling some account and anticipating outstanding payments that will be coming due.
Yeah, but anyway, as we get to continue, Keith is with us in the building. Karibu sana, Mr. Blackford.
Sana, what happened?
Yeah, we're just getting started, and I had begun with an amazing quote which I was just sharing, which is leading us to this video that I'm sharing right here. There's a quote I bumped into during the weekend, and it was questioning how comes black folks have mega churches but do not have mega banks and schools. And I was trying to narrate all this down, breaking it down, why they have denied us having our own control of our even currency, leave alone the banks. They have refused to change the system of education on purpose because of what this guy is actually saying. It takes us back to history, which African people need to understand very, very well how important history is. And I love going back to whatever Simba ever once said. History is not important. It is very, very important. And I'm saying that for me, every day I'm learning something. Every day I'm presenting the daily effects of what is happening in every African country. It takes me back to history still because I have to go back and understand how did they get here? How did Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda get here? It takes us all back to history, and I love the way this guy is breaking it all the way down. Shout out to
What do you
Chipajabo
say?
joining.
Right from the beginning, I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, I just started the video, so you are right on time. You're right on time.
History is different from time. I think that it's a mistake to not understand that. Time is a linear progression. History is not. History is what we have made of time. It's a ledger, which means that the past is always interacting with the present.
Which I agree, because our past is interacting with us today.
And influencing the future. This is the case for individuals, and it's the case for nations. It's true individually, and it's true collectively. Everything you do is a transaction. You purchase your deeds, your actions on credit, and the eventual payment is rendered in the currency of consequences. Again, this is true for individuals, and it's true for nations. And history is a record of all those transactions and how they get settled. It's an audit detailing the balancing of the books. So at any given moment in the present, you're both settling some accounts and anticipating outstanding payments that will be coming due. The further you move away in time from a past action, the closer you're coming to the consequences of that action. But people, especially on a collective level, on the level of nations, they imagine that the more time goes by, it means that they may never have to pay, as if that transaction just got lost and forgotten somehow. But no, the longer you go without a reckoning, the closer you're getting to the reckoning. All of that to say, America and the collective West have been buying their actions on credit for a very long time, and alarmingly expensive actions that have a monstrous cost. And they've been doing nothing but compound their moral debt all this time.
That's true.
As if the books will never be balanced. But that's not how history works. History is the continuous balancing of the books over and over again. And in fact, we're witnessing this happening right now in the West, to the West. The scales are rebalancing. And I don't think there's anything anyone can do about it except to ride it out. You set this in motion yourselves by your actions, and not just by the actions themselves, but the way you did what you did, and the whole mentality behind that, the whole mentality that drove that, because the mentality is still there. And this is fundamentally the issue.
The mentality is what is still the same mentality that runs us today. If I'm getting that correctly, that is what he's trying to say.
And I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will teach humanity what your mentality leads to and what its end is. I've said before that the core flaw, the mental or psychological or spiritual flaw of the West originally was the inability to properly assess or assign value. You reacted to the relative material scarcity, resource scarcity in Europe.
Yeah,
you reacted
exactly. You had that. You had that. Pause it. Exactly. They reacted. They didn't have anything. They were poor, impoverished, and fucked up. It's like they're gonna go to Africa and show us abundance and citizens Africans, can you help us
We want to shit Africans are loving. Yeah, we'll share with you. Don't worry. No, give me your shit. Knock you in the head, rape, steal, kill you, put you in the chains, and take your shit and she'll check it today. Not where you ever. Look at all this shit these niggas got, and I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
Yep, that is so true. That's why when he talks about the 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 behavior, the same people who started
Yeah,
all these actions are still there. It's still very, very
exactly.
active.
Your whole
Yeah,
culture, your whole so-called
yeah,
civilization was built around these two things:
Mm,
resentment
mm,
about being in any sort of state that you thought was deprivation. In other words, thinking that you deserved to have more than you had, and being angry
other people
about anyone having what you didn't have.
have it more.
And then
Exactly.
it was built around obtaining what you didn't
Stealing.
have. Value is assigned to possessing things, and then is assigned to whatever means enables the possession of things. And then eventually, that included even wanting to possess or to have a reputation or an image as an important superior civilization. It's the same psychological driver. You wanted what you didn't deserve rather than wanting to deserve having it. That's the sense of that's the sense of entitlement that lays at the heart of your resentment. And this is where the incessant
Gonzalez.
lies and deceit became embedded in your culture. You want to have the reputation of being a superior civilization without being one. You wanted to be admired, to be loved, to be respected, and so on, while still behaving in a way that earns nothing but contempt and loathing and disrespect. So you lie. I mean, the so-called Enlightenment was supposed to usher in a new
Against the
era
Moors.
of rationality and reason and justice and
Learning.
brotherhood and equality and all of that. And what actually followed was white supremacy, colonization, predatory capitalism, hundreds of millions of deaths in war, the PR and propaganda industries, disinformation, misinformation, and control of information, an unprecedented concentration of wealth and power in fewer and fewer hands, undreamt of, by the way, by the monarchs and popes of the Dark Ages.
That's what
Income
Canvas love.
disparity like the world has
Yeah,
never
yeah, I
seen.
want to
On
be
and on.
billionaires. I want a few billionaires. Yeah. Canvas, son, you're a psychopath. I want to, go ahead, Joe.
Yes, technology also, but technology driven by the war industry, by slaughterhouse mining in subjugated countries, brutal resource extraction, not to mention your enlightenment brought about the ability to annihilate all human life on this planet.
Exactly. Brutal. That's what I was talking about today. Brutal, reckless exploitation of resources. It's always just super reckless and brutal.
That's you enlightened. And you call all of that prosperity and security and progress.
Mm-mm. It's not.
So all of these actions have been purchased on credit,
Mhm.
and the payment will be extracted from you. In fact, it's being extracted from you now. Look at the UK, the former British Empire. Well, it won't be long before the population of that country.
Up to everyone live with us on TikTok. Shout out to Big Shot, Mzales, Just Kovu, Mark Kamangu, Mary. Karibuni sana to today's debate. Hope you guys are doing amazing.
Is comprised predominantly of the former subjects of that empire. You're being replaced by the people you colonized. That's justice, epochal justice. The same with France.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're being driven out of Africa, and now Africans are the only ones that are keeping France from becoming completely depopulated. Think about that. You insisted as colonizers to be where they were, and now they are where you are. But you see how you compound your moral debt? You rebel against this justice. Imagine countries that only have wealth because they stole and exploited other people's resources and other people's labor in those people's own countries.
Mm-hmm.
And then when those people come to your country, you have the gall to say that they're leeching off the welfare system and stealing your jobs.
South Africa. That is so South Africa right now there.
Meanwhile, all they're actually doing is expecting you to stick to the so-called values that you espouse, you know, about citizenship and equality and so forth. And there's nothing that you hate more than that, being expected to actually act in accordance with what you say. Because you never believed it. You just wanted to be believed while actually never civilizing to the level of the values that you espouse. So there's no way out for you. You see what I mean? There's no way out of paying the bill that you have accrued, because you're doing nothing ever but add to that bill. And subhanallah, when anyone talks about the things that you've done in the past, just say African Americans, for example, you say, hey, look, the past is the past. We have to move on, you know?
Yep.
Stop playing the victim. Well, that's like telling a bill collector that they should just let go of the past, you know? I bought that thing a long time ago. Why are you still going on about it? If you keep insisting that I pay for it, you're just playing the victim. Try that the next time a bill collector calls you. Let's let bygones be bygones. See how far that gets you. You don't do right. You never do right. You just gaslight.
No. Exactly.
But that's not going to work in the long term. Because there's only one thing that I know of that can potentially mitigate consequences, and that's repentance. I mean, repentance and obviously atonement. But you think, for instance, that officially abolishing chattel slavery, for example, equates to repentance for chattel slavery, but it doesn't. You know, if you stop beating someone with a club, it's not the same as repenting for having beaten them with a club, especially when you just start punching them instead of beat them. So like chattel slavery, that was dehumanizing, racist subjugation, and forced labor. Okay, did you stop doing that? Did you stop dehumanization, racist subjugation, and forced labor?
No.
Or did you just switch
Went to prison.
from clubbing people to punching them? The dehumanization is still there. The racism is still there. The subjugation is still there. The forced labor is still there. And not just in the form of the prison industrial complex,
And the
mass
prison.
incarceration of the descendants
Right.
of the people you enslaved. No, not just that. It continues in the form of the conditions you have created in your society, which dictate people's
People in
options for
poverty.
survival.
It's
No one has
poverty.
a choice. All you did was increase the complexity of the oppression. You know, it's like it's like you think if you create a bunch of shell companies and offshore accounts, you can evade payment for the actions that you've purchased. You just created layers, you know, curtains between you and blame and responsibility. But those curtains will be flung open. You know, it's like when people agree to split a check for a group dinner, but you ate from everyone's plate. Okay, you officially only bought a salad, but you ate from everyone's plate. But you think that when the bill comes, when the check comes, all you'll have to do is pay for your salad. But everyone saw you eat everything. You're just trying to be tricky. So there's no repentance and there's no atonement. You're not doing anything to actually help yourselves, even as the consequences are already spreading across your so-called civilization. So like with America, you should have understood that your beginning was atrocious, and you should have feared that. The genocide of the Native Americans doomed you from the start, and you should have very quickly tried to right that wrong, but you didn't. You compounded it, and you are continuously compounding it until today. Just now, for instance, just right now, you are poisoning Native Americans in America with uranium radiation right now. You went from genocide to chattel slavery to vicious Western expansion, manifest destiny, Southwest expansion, the dehumanization of everyone that you ever wanted to subjugate and exploit, from Native Americans to Africans to Mexicans to Chinese immigrants on the West Coast to the Irish. Dehumanization has always been your go-to for justifying oppression and subjugation, and you're still doing it. Sometimes it takes the form of racism, you know, of white supremacy. And sometimes it takes the form of classism or ideological dehumanization, cultural bigotry, you know, whatever. Because that's all that white supremacy actually is. It's just the dehumanization of people whom you want to subjugate and plunder. When the people that you want to subjugate and plunder happen to also be so-called white, well, then they don't qualify as superior and supreme, like the Irish or the Scottish or East Europeans or what have you, Bosnians, Russians, etc. The moment any people have what you want, whether it's their natural resources or their labor, or even their ideas, the moment they have what you want, then they cease to be humans. They cease to be human beings. The moment they have what you want, you will discover, even through your scientific research, all the reasons why they are inferior, they're undeserving, they're troublesome, they're backwards, they're primitive, they're stupid, they're lazy. Basically, they're ineligible for any right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All men are created equal unless those men have something that you want. then they're no longer in the human category.
Right.
And then the rule of human equality no longer applies to them. That's how you do it. But you created these dehumanizing narratives, and you raised your generations on that. You raised your generations on saying one thing and doing another. You raised them on a diet of mocking moral values, mocking principles. You raised them to think that morals and values and principles and the law are all just words to be invoked whenever you want to justify or camouflage immoral, unprincipled, illegal actions. So like you can murder Patrice Lumumba, for example, dissolve that man's body in acid and literally keep his tooth like a serial killer keeping a trophy, but then tell the Congo, you have to bring evidence that meets our legal standards of due process. So you raised your people to believe that principles are just tactics in a game, something that you can weaponize against others.
It's called moral relativism.
You can throw due process and legality out the window to do whatever you want to do, and then you can pretend that you insist on dotting every I and crossing every T legally when your victims call you out for your crimes and accuse you. You normalized hypocrisy and double standards for your people to where they literally don't know how else to be now. That means that when the bill comes due for all your past actions and all the actions that you're committing today, your own people, your own nation, your own so-called civilization will have no way to pay that bill except by means of the complete foreclosure of Western so-called civilization.
Yep, and that's the video over there. Which is literally, he's speaking literally the truth. Literally the truth. The elites in power, how they have been controlling, how they control, how they have understood the power system, literally, if I can call it that, because it's all about power. All this is just all about power. Who's in control, who runs what they can say.
I was going to tell you to play this video, but I know you're going to play that one. I sent you one. Last one I sent on my other phone, what I want you to play. So this person's saying the same thing almost. A little bit different. Going into the Diddy aspect of Diddy just being a damn puppet. It's really the upper echelons. Talking about the society too. How the society is so debauched, so deranged. And explaining what I've been explaining. He explained in a good way how there's not real talent anymore. That's why I say even Kenyan music more talent. There's no real talent because the people who don't have talent have taken control of the industry and can make anybody. That's what I was trying to tell Ayrton that Nicki Minaj is not a talent. You believe that because you hear our songs. If you had real talent, you would know she's not a talent, but you wouldn't know that because they pushed her and they made her talent. So real talent doesn't mean anything anymore. It doesn't mean anything because, like he said, it's been weaponized through finances. Yeah, that's it right there. I can make everything talent. And now that they, like I told Canvas, explain them. Now that they hollowed out the industry by making people that don't have talent stars, the industry is starting to collapse because nobody wants to hear them. Because you made an industry for the last 20 years of people with no talent. And so now people are like, man, this music stinks. It sucks. You think it's not, but the industry is going, I'm going to show you Joe again. The music industry is going bankrupt because the people that control it are not the creative motor behind it. They've taken down the industry and just made and put industry plants in there. There's no creativity because no, I can't make no album. Get out of here. You have to have real talent to be part of that industry. And now the industry's been taken over by people that have no talent, who just want to make industry plans to make money. And so when they did that, they imploded the industry. Like I tried to teach Cameron's goofy ass. You will implode the industry, and eventually you're going to pay. There's going to be consequences. You're going to destroy the goose that lays the golden egg because now you want to just extract money from it without actually building anything or making anything of value. Like he's going to tell you. Like I said, Cameron, you're not making anything of value. You're just talking about you got some money. What value have you created? It's the exchange of energy, exchange of value. I don't care about that. I got rich and fuck everybody else, but you imploded your own goddamn economy, you moron. Yeah. Go ahead, Joe, play that. Like he's saying.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what happened to the volume. What's up with the volume? Just a minute. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the volume. Give me a minute. Let's see.
Today that more U.S. troops are.
I hear
From
that.
the angle of social commentary or
There you
social
go.
critique,
There you go.
Diddy case
There you go.
is quite rich. There's a lot to talk about. For me, the most interesting thing is what is demonstrated on multiple levels about the Western psyche. I mean, whether it's Weinstein or Epstein or Diddy or, say, R. Kelly or Dominique Strauss-Kahn, who everyone forgets about, the predation and the degeneracy of the super rich is always met with disingenuous shock and disgust, while simultaneously, without fail, we're also always told that everyone knew what these people were doing for years. And in fact, I think that most people do understand that this is how the super rich behave. So the shock is not genuine. But if we're being honest, the disgust isn't genuine either, because in fact, being rich enough to behave this way is precisely why many people want to be rich. The predation and the degeneracy are not peculiarities of the wealthy. The thing that makes them different is that they have the resources that enable them to do it. But for a very large percentage of people in the West, the only thing that's preventing them from behaving the same way is their comparative poverty, not their comparative piety. The rich are not necessarily any worse
They compare
than
to
the rest
poverty.
of the people morally. Their wealth just removes the constraints that restrict other people from being just as bad. I mean, if you look at popular entertainment, the sort of lifestyles that are promoted in popular entertainment and were promoted in the film and music industries by the likes of Weinstein
It's
and
filth.
Diddy and R. Kelly and everyone else, that's the degenerate, debauched, hedonistic,
Exactly.
anti-human, immoral lifestyle that they
That's what I've been
themselves were
saying.
living, and to which the consumers of that entertainment aspire. It's completely consistent with the mentality of colonizers and slave masters. The fantasy lifestyle for
It is.
Westerners is brutal. It is to
Down.
dominate, to humiliate, to exploit, abuse, subjugate, degrade, objectify, dehumanize, tyrannize, and enslave. That's the Western fantasy. It always was, and it is now, and they
Yeah.
act upon it any chance they
They,
get.
they always mess about being.
I mean, they'll
Why can't we?
prosecute these
Why can't we
types of
put these
people,
niggas back in
collective
slavery?
cases, only to absolve themselves. You know, they need to burn someone at the stake just to convince themselves that they're better than them, that they're more righteous and more moral than them, but they're not. Most of them are not. I mean, look at any music video, almost any music video, and tell me how it's not promoting the exact same lifestyle that you claim to hate Epstein and Weinstein and Diddy for. Meanwhile, those videos have hundreds of millions of views and hundreds of millions of likes, and you memorize the words of those songs. You have a problem. You can't reform yourselves. You can't reform and rehabilitate your so-called civilization by just prosecuting token offenders. Finding these people guilty doesn't make you innocent. When you made them rich and you made them famous on the very basis of the degenerate messaging that they promoted and that you devoured. You've endorsed it all along, and you endorse it now. You aspired to it then, and you aspire to it now. I mean, you literally have someone like Andrew Tate, who directly built his wealth through and for this very lifestyle, and by selling it to others, selling to others how they could do the same thing and have that same lifestyle. Because this is the Western male fantasy. I mean, think about it. Everybody in this case, in the Sean Combs case, everybody wants to know about the celebrities who were at those parties. No one wants to know about the nameless, faceless executives, the obscure, pasty old men for whom those parties were actually arranged. first place, the
by
celebrities are
them,
just ignored.
by the
They were
executives,
the
right?
party favorites,
Not no P
provided
Diddy. Exactly.
for
You
those
got own the
anonymous
shit.
owners and controllers of global financialized capital. But you want to know
You
about the
say the
celebrities
J's. He said
because
he
even
only
in
calls
your
them financial capital. The J's, goddammit. Say their names. The J's. As he
proclaim
said,
to
the J's.
discuss, you're still fantasizing. So I find the selective disgust to be performative. And that's actually useful. That's a useful thing to know about the Western psyche and how they respond when the crimes of their society get highlighted. Because, yes, in my view, these are crimes of Western society because the individual crimes of someone like Diddy are reflective of the values and the aspirations of Western society itself. So when these crimes get highlighted, in other words, when for whatever reason, for any particular individual, these crimes are suddenly and selectively subject to accountability. There's a
Selectively
choir of
accountable.
hypocritical condemnation and outrage. Now, that matters to me, for instance, in the context of the Article 6 campaign to expel the United States from the United Nations, because just like Diddy or Weinstein or whoever, just like those criminals, and just like how everyone has known about their degeneracy for years, so too everyone knows about America's crimes. And just like with Diddy or with Weinstein, everyone is complicitly silent until the moment of accountability comes. Then they all rush to a microphone to distance themselves and disown the criminal with self-absolving condemnation. So this is why you might see France and the UK not veto Article 6 at the Security Council, because once we bring all the US violations to light in an official venue, not just in an essay or a book or a lecture or what have you, but actually in an official legal venue, violation after violation, crime after crime, human rights abuse after human rights abuse, stretching back for 8 decades, and call it out for what it is, why France and the UK are likely to act just like every associate of Diddy or Weinstein or Epstein or any of these other degenerate predators and race each other to the podium to condemn and distance themselves and exonerate themselves and try to salvage their own reputations and polish their own image and assure the world of how good they are, how law-abiding they are, how principled they are by throwing America under the bus. I mean, do you think that any of the European colonial powers were actually happy to watch the US take over their empires? No. France and the UK are both seething with bitterness and resentment and envy. While they'll be just as happy to watch America fall as all those associates and co-conspirators of Diddy are happy to watch that belligerent criminal go to jail if they have been clever enough to protect themselves from being prosecuted themselves for their association with him. I think France and the UK are just the same. They're in the same position as those associates of Diddy. They won't veto Article 6 because it would too blatantly expose them as being part of the same criminal syndicate as America. It's like cutting a deal for immunity with prosecutors. This is why it's useful to understand the psyche, because frankly, it helps with analysis and strategizing, to understand the Western psyche, to know who you're dealing with and how they behave. I mean, there are actually so many facets to this story in terms of social critique. Like the fact that, okay, someone like Diddy, and actually most of the artists who were associated with him, were actually mediocre talents at best.
Exactly.
One or two
Mediocre.
exceptions.
Stink.
But you
Exactly.
see people uploading independently on social media today who are immeasurably more talented than these
They're
people, than the
talented.
people who
Pause it, pause it,
industry
pause it.
designated
I've
as being
seen,
top
pause
tier
it, Joby,
artists.
pause it, pause it, pause it. I've seen cats in the studio in Kenya that are 20 times more talented than any star in America. I never told nobody that. 20 times more talented. But motherfucker, you'll never make it. I'm going to be honest. Because you haven't been anointed by the J's to suck dick yet. Okay? 20 times more talented. And that's real. That's what I know. I know music. 20 times more talented. But oh well, you're languished in obscurity because nobody has put baby oil on that booty hole. Go ahead, Joby. That's right. That's what they say. Wow.
To me, that reflects the financialization of the economy, whereby billionaires
Exactly.
are created
Finance.
not by producing, not by creating,
Nothing.
not by
That's why I try.
manufacturing,
That's why I try to teach
not
cameras.
by
I
actually
found this.
making
This is
excellent
what
products,
I
but
was
just by
trying to teach
manipulation of
cameras
time and
yesterday.
market.
Exactly.
Virtual
This is
money,
what. Pause it.
virtual
Pause it. Pause it. This is what I was trying to teach Kamala stupid ass yesterday. This is what I can't believe this. I found this video last night. The universe always gives me what I need. This is what I was trying to teach this crazy ass yesterday. But go ahead, Joe.
Valuation of shares, stocks, what have you. Like I've said before, Elon Musk did not become as rich as he is now.
No, Tesla's
rich through financialization.
Exactly.
And share buybacks of Tesla to artificially inflate the share price, resulting in his net worth ballooning for no reason whatsoever connected to production or to sales. So in the financialized economy, profit and wealth are disconnected from actually creating or manufacturing products of value. It is unearned money. So it's the same with artists. It's the same. A singer or a rapper or what have you. It's like a Tesla. They're just a financial instrument. Their profile is the source of their profit. Their celebrity is the source of their profit. And it doesn't matter at all whether they have any talent or not. Just like it doesn't matter that there are so many electric cars on the market that are objectively superior to Tesla. Nor does it matter even that electric cars anyway are already absurdities to begin with. No one cares. You only have a company so that you can have shares in that company. Making things is tertiary to the purpose of a company, just like talent and producing quality songs or performances.
Not giving benefit of quality anymore, exactly.
To the purposes of an artist or a performer. Entertainment and art have been financialized. So in other words, the people who are making the most money and who are running those sectors don't care even slightly about quality or producing.
About the creative. Pause it, exactly. Pause it. See, the people that got control of our music, they're not creative. They don't give a fuck about the creative process. So when I say a person like a Nicki Minaj and these other bastards could not get a rap contract 30 years ago, that's what I mean. Because they didn't have the talent to be in the genre. Because we controlled it. But now it became what about them making money and also destroying our image at the same time. So they can make money, like you said, financialize the industry, making industry plans and putting it up out there. And people are like, yeah, they great, and make money off of it until they imploded it, until a new generation said, this music ain't music. This shit is garbage. All of it's garbage. So now you've destroyed your own economic factor that you stole it, because you don't create, you don't know how to create. So now the whole industry is imploding on your ass because you destroyed it. Because you thought it was just about making money. How much money can I get? Not about the creative process of making good music. Not the creative process of feeding your soul. Music is about feeding one's soul, moving you. What's the benefit of it? Not the profit of it. They stripped it down to what the profit of it. When we turned on music back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, even if I was born in the 60s, it made you feel a certain way. It made you feel something. Or it spoke to something. Now, you got more lollipop, lollipop, all this old crazy shit. This moronic buffoonery. So eventually they thought they can keep on just doing that and they would still make millions of dollars of doing it. But somewhere the youth, the Gen Zs, who are a different brand, said this music is fucked up. Somewhere along the line, eventually you were going to, like I told Camus, you were going to destroy the golden goose. You're going to destroy it. And they destroyed, and right now, the record industry is having a bloodbath because no one's buying no albums, no one's going to any concerts, and they've been firing people. See, I told you, now you got to fire everybody. I'm going to joke, we looked it up after him, how many firings have happened in the music industry just in the last month. Everybody's getting fired because it's not making any money, because it's garbage. You made it base. You took the industry of black people, you made it base. You made it filthy. You made it fucked up. No one finds any value in it. See, like he told you, value. You're supposed to give value. You're supposed to learn how to give value to something. If I'm not getting any value, I'm just getting an artificial flavoring. I'm not getting any value for my money. So eventually that hustle breaks down. It's fraudulent. I try to tell Cameras, you destroy your golden goose. Yeah, you rich, but you destroyed everything underneath you. Now you destroyed the whole industry. You've destroyed everything. So you destroyed it's that made you rich, dummy. You laid waste to it because you've not getting any value. Go ahead, Joby.
Okay.
Well, you have so many celebrities that everyone wonders why on earth they are celebrities when they observably have no talent whatsoever.
Exactly. Have no talent.
I mean, the most obvious example, of course, is the Kardashians, who don't even pretend to have a talent. But I mean, you can find countless others among those people who the entertainment industry tells us are the most talented people in their field, but who are painfully mediocre in reality. Well, okay, this is in and of itself corruption. These are people who have built wealth without building value. So it's both corruption and immaturity. It's deceitful and parasitic, and it divorces
Yep.
reward from merit, from
Everything
work,
they do is
from discipline,
parasitic.
from worth.
There's no
It's
value.
getting without deserving. So you don't go through the development process as a person or as a society that you have to go through to actually deserve reward. That's the maturation process that can actually make you appreciate the reward once you have earned it. It's the maturation process that gives you integrity. Because unearned reward is just the other side of the coin of
That's why here
unaccountability.
Joby appreciative of what she's now
You know,
accomplished because she's went through the thing of getting the value of what she's done. She came from here, now she has this. It's to appreciate. She just wasn't given this. She has worked hard to acquire it and given back value now because now she's more educated and gives better shows. The value. So now her lifestyle equals the value, and she's appreciative of what she's got. And these other people, they've given no value. Go ahead, Joe.
you can have unearned reward, then you will also feel that you should not have earned punishment. These are the two sides of the same attitude. Because you gained your wealth and your fame and so on outside the traditional framework of merit, hard work, and talent. So you will also feel that you exist outside the framework of accountability in terms of your wrongdoing. You're someone for whom the rules do not apply, because if the rules applied, well, then you wouldn't even be rich and famous, because you don't deserve that and you haven't earned that by producing value. So you think that the rules don't apply either to your merit or to your demerit. This is very, very Western. So now you have people controlling incredibly influential cultural sectors who don't care in the least about producing quality. These people
Exactly.
give you the soundtrack, the reference points, the
Don't care.
lexicon, the standards, the style, the attitude, the perspective, the personality, the ambiance that pervades your whole society and culture. These degenerate, deranged, deceitful, diabolical people are like the cinematographers who set the framing of your view of the
I
world.
mean, it's diabolical,
They're the filter of
exactly.
popular culture that's placed over the lens through which you see reality. And it's a very dark and very warped lens. But again, this is your so-called civilization. You know, you have this thing now going around now, I've seen it online, that people openly talk about, what they call yachting, which is nothing but celebrities and models and actors, singers, what have you, literally being paid to fornicate with wealthy men on yachts, basically floating diddy parties. And no one's offended, no one is outraged. Somehow for you, this is not disgusting. Because the lottery mentality of the West, you all hope to one day be one of those rich men on one of those yachts. Because you just take it as a given that this is the sort of thing that the rich get up to. And the only reason you don't get up to the same kind of debauchery and the same kind of predation as the rich is just because your finances prevent you. Not your morality, your finances. I mean, do you see how this looks to a Muslim? I mean, we see your social media platforms, Instagram, X, what have you, Facebook. These are largely being used just as delivery platforms, directing people to OnlyFans accounts.
He's right about that. I didn't know that. I guess all these
Your
kings
whole
don't tend
popular
to go to these
culture
websites.
hypersexualizes women, glorifies violence, condones prostitution, promiscuity, drug use, drinking, pimping, gangsterism, and crime. And then you clutch your pearls in shock and disgust when one of you gets caught doing in real life what you always promoted in your songs and videos and movies. When you get caught acting in real life the same way that you acted on screen, when you get caught living the lifestyle that all of you tell each other is living the dream. Right? It looks to a Muslim like the only thing that you're actually offended about or outraged about is the getting caught part. But then, like I said, you just use those opportunities as a chance to pretend to be disgusted by the behavior of people whom you made rich because they promoted that same behavior in their songs and movies and videos. I mean, why weren't you disgusted by it when it was put to a beat? Why, if Diddy had released tapes of his parties in the form of music videos, his net worth would have tripled, and he probably would have gotten a VMA award. Because the fact is, you approve of all this. You aspire to it. And in fact, that degenerate lifestyle, that predation, and that debauchery with impunity is actually the American dream. It's the colonizer, slave master, Western imperialist dream. And you know, for anyone who's over there in the States or in the West who genuinely, truly does feel disgusted and outraged over this kind of thing, because I know there are some of you, all I can say is, you know how they talk about situational awareness? You know, having that awareness of your surroundings and what's going on around you so that you can be alert to any threats or dangers nearby. Well, let's call this civilizational awareness. And just like someone who is oblivious to the threats and dangers around them on the street, you say that they have low situational awareness.
That's
Well, you have low
time.
civilizational awareness
Civilization awareness.
because you are truly walking around in a cloud of propaganda and indoctrination and oblivion about the reality of the so-called civilization that you live in. You think that you're walking around in a park in the middle of a sunny afternoon surrounded by flowers and fuzzy animals, but you're actually in a dead-end alley at 3 in the morning in the pitch dark, and you're surrounded by psychopaths and serial killers. No, people like Epstein and Weinstein and Sean Combs are not
You think you're walking around in a park with fuzzy animals, Joby, and fun, but you're walking in a dirty alley with psychopaths.
So that's the video. Crazy.
Yeah, that's good. So let's get into talk about Janet Jackson and how the bootlicks came after. So, guys,
Before
you
we
guys
do
are.
that, let me get on the comments just a little bit. Shout out to everyone still with us. Everyone live with us
I'll
on
go ahead, Joby.
TikTok. I see Jiba Jabba was saying in 2024 society is taught you can't judge the past by today's standards. An example is the victim can't seek justice. That is true. And I also see you are giving us updates on the weather. I'm glad you're having a beautiful day. And shout out to another dummy. Black Money says, my gay brother-in-law told me in early 1990, those are not women in video. He worked for Atlanta Brave Gays, no gay.
Oh, he knew. Shit, he knew. Damn. Damn. Why you didn't tell the rest of us we was looking at trans men, man? Why you kept it secret? God damn it! You one dummy man. Shit, wrong with you? Got me,
Um,
got me listening after a whole goddamn man.
He says they installed talentless artists to destroy
Exactly.
our power movement because our old artists like James Brown, Gil Scott, and Public Enemy would uplift and empower us. That's
Exactly.
I think I was talking about that even today, where Africans need to go back to that. I did say that today on my show. Africans need to go back to talking about their history on music, talking about their
You got,
current.
you gotta get control of the music, Joby. Yeah, I'm sure some Africans want to do that. Do they got control? You don't got, like you said, you don't got control of the distribution. You don't control the music. I got he mentioned Clive Davis in that too. So where's Clive Davis at? Exactly. P Diddy is just a puppet. Like he said, same thing. How does the maid, because he was sucking dick, become now the head of something? Okay, that's what P Diddy was. He was servicing Andre Harrell, but mostly Clive Davis. Because nobody said, how does P. Diddy, who's a nobody, become the head of a see, they never really had their subsidiary. These bad boys, these black companies, they don't own them. They're just subsidiary. I think the only one that actually owned one was Master P. Here's actually one that he actually owned outright. The other ones are just they just let black men feel good, like they have some real ownership. They're subsidiaries of the main company. Okay, So, but they still, how did P Diddy become the subsidiary of some shit when he was a nobody? No, he was a gopher. He was. Yeah, I know him as Jodeci. 'Cause I was a Jodeci fan. I knew he was Jodeci's gopher. He was the one. Hey, go get me something to eat. Go do my laundry. Go do this. Go do that. Right. So he was Jodeci's gopher in the beginning. Next you know, he's the president of some shit. So how'd that happen? So we didn't really know that it was that deep to sucking dick. We didn't know. I mean, one dummy man did, or whatever the hell, one dummy black man. He knew. I didn't know in the '90s that it was all about whose dick you're sucking and the debauchery. I had no clue. It was if you would have told me back in the '90s, I don't think I would have believed it. I would have said, "Nah, man, you crazy." I would have said, "Nah, get out of here." Ain't a bunch of. Cause I knew homosexuality was allowed in our community, so I would say, "Man, you crazy as hell. Nobody allowed none of that shit." Let alone a trans man run around being a. As you see, Joey was in a video. I didn't see a video. It was a video of Vixen, right? She showed a video today on her show in the morning. I didn't see it though. But look, the Joey's a woman. So I would, in the '90s, and me being 20, 21, you couldn't have told me that I was that man, that woman was a man. I wouldn't have believed you. I know I wouldn't have. You was out, man. You know, man, that's a man. I said, man, you don't get that talking that stupid shit. Let me get away from you talking dumb. Get out of here. That's a woman. You can't see that's a woman? I would have argued with you. I know me, but that's a woman. Who are you talking about? Shit. And I would have been like this. As fine as that motherfucker is right there, man, you better go in with that bullshit. Fuck you think you fucking with? I know that's a goddamn woman. That's a fine black woman there, goddamn it. Not know that's a whole man with a dick. I'd have fought you tooth and nail. Cause ain't no way that. Go ahead, Joey.
He also adds, I stopped buying CDs in 1995 because the music was garbage, homosexual bestiality.
Yeah.
I'm a black man. Big Cheese also says in the 80s hip hop was 90%. Don't do dope and uplifting and comedy. R&B was 90% about black men, black women loving each other.
Loving each other, exactly. Exactly. Now it's all. It went from don't do dope to everybody. Smoking pot, everybody doing Miley, get some dope in your smoke drug, get the alcohol.
Fuck my baby daddy, that's what they're saying.
Yeah. baby daddy, everybody's a bitch and a hoe. Bitch, your pussy stink. I got wet ass pussy or whatever. What is this garbage?
But I also see another dummy black man adds that my 20-year-old daughter said this music is garbage. That's nice.
That's what I'm saying, exactly, because I'm saying the Gen Zs are waking up. They don't got to be told that this music is garbage. It's not that, because you can't say, oh, because you old. No, this music is garbage, man. I know what I'm listening to. I get a good song every blue moon. I say, oh, that's a decent song. Like I know when Shimani playing that song a couple years ago, that was a real good song. It was a rap song. It had a bunch of kids on it. I had to ask Shimani what it was. It had a bunch of kids on that rap song. I said, hey, that's a good song. They talking about nobody, nobody's a hoe, nobody's all fucked up, smoking and drinking all the time, So, like you said, those people got control of the music. They didn't care about the damn art. They wanted to financialize it and make money from it. Also by destroying us too, but to make money while they destroyed us. And they didn't realize that, like I said, one dummy black man's daughter was like, this music is garbage. Every song is garbage. Because our songs, that's what made us the cultural power of the planet. Our music was so uplifting and great. It was just great. How you go from that to this? Filth. I can go back and listen to the music before I was born, and it's great. So you can't say it's my generation, because the generation before I was even born, the music is great. It's the mid part of my generation when the music got completely, by the time we got 25, 26, it went completely off the rails. Like, what the hell is this shit here? And then by the 2000s, by the time my kids were growing up, that shit was completely unlistenable. I started listening to it too. I think 2000. I zone. I can't listen to this shit. This shit is garbage. But anyway, shout out to Janet Jackson who went to an interview and said that she don't think Camilla Harris is black, and that she heard that her dad was a white man. That's what she heard. Now we know Janet Jackson is not the smartest tool in the shed, and now she's not exactly a brilliant woman, but she's influential, right? But the same people that were proper up for saying stupid shit and defend her now came against her because they're going against their fake candidate trying to tell black people that this woman's black. Black women, black men know that she's not. That's being destroyed, okay? You only hurt yourself. But I want you to see the tools that came out. If D.L. Hewley's and others came out, said D.L. Hewley tried to come out and say, oh, she can't talk about who's black anyway because she's got a white woman's nose. Oh, you talking about, you non-funny bastard that the white man keeps giving shows? You're not even funny. Idea they call you a comedian is a joke. You're not even funny. Like, how's he a comedian? I know you're a white man's tool like you've always been. Like a Ricky Smiley and other you non-funny motherfuckers. Like a Steve Harvey who ain't funny. None of you people are actually funny. And shout out to Corey Holcomb. None of you guys can actually go out to clubs and bring an audience in off your comedy skits, your comedy talents, because you all stink. You all stink. But you all been tools for that power because they gave you money. They made you not poor because all of you stupid. Gil Hewley's a moron. Steve Harvey's a moron. So without this, you know you'd be cutting grass somewhere at the local KFC or some shit.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a bunch of videos of people reacting to the whole situation. I don't know which I'm gonna share because since we're talking about the bootlicks, we're gonna go through all the bootlicks who had something to say. So I'm gonna start with this guy here, who you hate so much. His name is Robert something.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet.
This goddamn fat. This fat sack of pus ass nigga. This nigga's a fat sack of pus. Goddamn bloated. He can't even, nigga, you so fat you can't even find your own neck. Where your neck at, nigga? Where's his neck at? Roland Mark. Oh, Janet. See, you don't really want to go in on it. Oh, Janet. They're going to try to patronize. Janet, be quiet. You're stupid. Just sing. Because usually they want to lick her. Usually they want to lick her ass. Because she has influence. Because she's Janet Jackson. But now, they want to call her stupid. But they want to be gentle about it. Right? Janet, baby, don't say anything about politics. Because you're really not that smart. They're gonna probably, let's see what he says. Everybody say Janet, Janet, Janet.
Okay, y'all. She's the latest black celebrity to spread misinformation about Vice President Kamala Harris. In an interview
disinformation
with The Guardian.
Disinformation. Now, disinformation, Janet's right. This woman's not black. So how's this disinformation this fucking fat ass nigga talking about? Nothing Janet said. Janet's not what Janet said. I heard her father's white. Her father does claim to be white. Now, being Jamaican, moron, is not a race. It's a nationality. The majority of Jamaicans are Africans. Okay? They're not Jamaicans. They're Africans. Jamaica is an ethnicity. It's not a race. As a race, they're Africans. So don't try to say, oh, her daddy's Jamaican, because that's an ethnicity. They're not Jamaicans. They're Africans. Their race, are they ethnically Jamaicans? Yes. But racially, the majority of Jamaicans are African. Of course, we got white Jamaicans. Of course, we got Indian Jamaicans and Chinese Jamaicans. The Chinese, they the Jamaicans. Okay. That's their ethnic group. It's still Chinese, but the Chinese Jamaicans or whatever. Just like we got Indian Kenyans. But the majority of Kenyans are African. Kenya is just an ethnic group, not the. So the race of Jamaicans, the majority, are Africans. Okay? Jamaicans are Africans. Her father is not an African Jamaican. He's an Indian Jamaican because the British brought the Indians everywhere they went. Okay, that's how the Indians got to Jamaica because of the British. That was a British-controlled colony. Okay, the Africans were the slaves there, and the Indians were the buffer race. He's an Indian who was born in Jamaica. That don't make him not an Indian. Now you got Indians that are born in Kenya. That don't make them not Indians. So he's gonna try that shit. Let's see what he says. Go ahead, Joby.
And y'all, published Saturday to promote the second leg of her concert tour. Janet Jackson claimed she heard that Kamala Harris was not black and the vice president's daddy was white. Here's what the reporter wrote. On For Us, it was about making a difference in a kid's life, a teenager's life, from them taking this path with drugs and going down the wrong street, trying to make something of themselves. On that record, she said,
Now remember, the Jays own the BET, the fake black entertainment not owned by anybody black. The Jays own that, so they probably gonna throw her under the bus. Because remember, BET is not owned by anybody black. Black Entertainment TV is not owned by anybody black or African. Okay? Make sure we understand that. Go ahead, Joe.
Test to social injustice and pushing toward a world rid of color lines. I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris. Well, you know what they supposedly said, she asked.
She's not black.
She's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian. She looks at me expectantly, perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage. Well, she's both, I offered.
No, she's not both.
That's what I was told. I mean,
she's not.
I haven't watched the
news
in a few days.
And look out and see, I told you, it's the same shit they set up in Africa that they did with us here, because we're the same people. This bootlick is asking you to get rid of reality. We know her daddy is a Jamaican Indian. That's a fact. We know her mother is an Indian from India. So there is no blackness nowhere in this woman. And to be honest, she shouldn't even be around for president because her mama was a British citizen and her daddy was a British citizen when they were born. At that time they were born, her mama was a British citizen under Britain. India was controlled by Britain. Jamaica was controlled by Britain. They're British citizens. So how the fuck is this woman running for the American presidency when she's not a legalized citizen? They don't want to bring that up. Come talk to me. Whether she's black or not, she's not an American citizen. Her parents were British citizens. India was a British colony when her mama was born. Jamaica was a British colony when her daddy was born. Making them British citizens. Making Kamala a British citizen who grew up in another British colony called Canada. And as I told you, Canada's not even a country. Canada is a colony of the goddamn royal family. It's called the Crown family. The Crown, all the property in Canada is controlled by the British monarchy. Shout out to the guy that we had on here that's from Canada. I think it was in Sato's show. Yeah, it was on Sato's show. He's from Canada saying, yeah, I knew I was right. Crown property. The British still own fucking Canada. Outright. Canada ain't even a goddamn country. Owned by the fucking crown. So that shit they talking about. She grew up in Canada. She didn't grow up in America. So how the fuck is she running for the presidency of the United States? Because it's a scam. Because we don't control the country. That's why. We don't control our music. The white man don't control this country here. Don't control shit but his mouth. Go ahead. Let's
I was told that they discovered her father was white. I'm floored at this point. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist, a Stanford professor.
Pauses. See, they said Jamaican again, because they know the majority of Jamaicans are African, guys. See, that's it. You said they try to conflate this. I told you, I didn't even know Joe was going to use this. Told you, they said Jamaican. Motherfucker, Jamaican don't mean black. And Jamaican don't mean African. You got Jamaican Chinese, goddammit. You got Jamaican Indians. You got Jamaican white people that live in Jamaica. What are you talking about? I heard that she was a Jamaican. See, they try to conflate and fool black people because they still think you're stupid. Being Jamaican don't mean shit. Because you got non-African Jamaicans. As Joby showed that video of that Chinese lady told the other black Jamaicans they weren't even Jamaicans no more. There's a Chinese lady said that she was the true Jamaican. Okay? So he's trying to conflate ethnicity with race. That's why they just say Jamaican. They don't say African. Like because they know that when everybody think about Jamaica, they think about African people because they know the majority of of that island is black. But that's not the only people there. You got white people that live in Jamaica that are born and raised in Jamaica. Joby showed you 2 presidents a few years ago that were all white. They're still there. You got Chinese that are born in Jamaica. They're still there. Yeah, the Chinese lady said, we're the Jamaicans, not your black ass. All right? You have Indians born in Jamaica. But we know when we think about Jamaica, we think about black people. So that's what they're trying to conflate in your mind. This is called propaganda. He said his daddy was a Jamaican economist. He didn't say he was African. Go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead.
Indian mother when she was 5. Quote, my mother understood very well that she was raising 2 black daughters. Harris wrote in her book, The Truth Behold.
2 black
People who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity tend to be hardcore QAnon adjacent, Trump-loving conspiracy theorists. I don't think Jackson falls into that camp, but I do wonder what the algorithms are serving her.
I understand what they're writing. I understand what they're writing. See, this is the one. There's nobody black writing that. That's the white man writing that bullshit. Most people think they got to be mega, but Trump, no, there was no mega. We know this woman's not black. So he's asking black people to stay stupid and remain stupid. And he is willing. I told you, these motherfuckers are so duplicitous, so evil. This is borderline evil. They're willing to do any kind of lies to black people because they're getting paid. Because they're getting paid by the European masters to keep telling her she's black, and you know she's not. So I thought it'd be anybody believe that she's not black is part of QAnon or mega and support Donald Trump. Nah, motherfucker. We ain't supporting her ass. And she's been anti-black, you fat fucking no-neck punk.
Lord.
Go ahead, Joby.
They say, and given this moment, does Jackson think America's ready for her if we agree she's black? Or, okay, a woman of color? I don't know, Jackson stage whispers.
It's that fake woman
Honestly,
of color shit.
I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem.
See, they're going to see, exactly. They're going to say, now see, now pause it. They're going to say, because she will know, now they're going to make her look stupid because, the Jacksons are dumb. So, I really don't know nothing. So I'm just saying what I heard. So they're going to try to throw in the bus, don't listen to her, she is stupid. Because they don't need her right now. They don't need her influence, so they're going to try to destroy her and say, she is stupid. Go ahead, Joby.
Yeah, so I'm going to share a little bit, then we're going to go to the next bootlickers.
Jackson issued an apology for the comments based upon a statement from
I can't look at his fat ass head and his big ass balloon stomach.
Represented Jackson and is listed as the singer's manager on IMDb Pro. Well, a person close to Jackson who spoke anonymously later told the Post that Os Masri does not represent the singer. Os Masri also came out publicly and said that he was fired by Janet Jackson and Randy Jackson as a result of that statement. Now, Janet Jackson has not apologized for those comments.
No, she didn't.
So let me say this here, y'all.
So
don't say nothing else, you fat bastard. Go get some goddamn diet pills or have fast. Do something.
Janet Jackson just did a wide-ranging interview with British.
Here you go. She bought the main boot-licking, handkerchief head, puppet ass, ugly ass black woman in the world. I knew she had sense. So let's see what she got to say.
But most of the focus is on when she was asked her thoughts on VP Kamala Harris possibly become the first black female president. She said she answered by saying that she had heard that Harris's father was white, which we all know is false. And a staffer claims that he was fired.
Her father did say he was white.
Apology in her name.
He said he was part of the white slave master. That's a lie. Here's the funny, pause it, Joe. Here's the funny that they haven't interviewed her father to clear this up. Ain't it funny that none of these fat black phonies have interviewed her father because he did say he was white. He said, I'm from the Irish lineage He didn't even claim the Indian part of his fucking because he's more Indian than he is Irish, but he wanted to claim the white people. He said he's most his family, his lineage is Irish and Indian. The Irish that enslaved his Indian people, right? My family came from the slave owners of Jamaica. That's what he said. There wasn't no black slave owners in Jamaica. He said he came from the white slave owners. He's part of the slave owner class. And he made that known back in 2020 when she was picked for vice president. He said, my family is part of the slave owners. We ain't part of no damn nigga slaves. Are you crazy? That's what he said. We're part of the slave owners in this bitch. So what Whoopi saying is absolutely lie. That's why they won't go interview the man, because they know what the hell he said. He said we were the slave owners. We weren't the goddamn Jamaican slaves. We weren't none of these niggas, none of these Africans. We were the damn, because we know that the Jamaican African were what? The slaves. Okay? That was a slavery island. They brought them from Africa for slavery. So the African, who we call Jamaicans today, are the African slaves. He says, I'm not, what? African slave? What the hell no? We are the slave masters. He said that shit proudly with his no good ass. Go ahead, Joe.
Rise to speak on her behalf. Now, Jackson has not responded to requests for comment, but no matter how you feel about celebs speaking out politically, you know, is it okay for somebody to say, you know, I mean, you know, I don't know, I made a mistake?
Yeah, well, yes, she's okay. She didn't say. We don't know. She didn't say that. Yes, she got the right to give. She got the right to her own goddamn opinion, because it ain't yours. She ain't brainwashed like you. Trying to be all phony. Oh, she didn't. Yeah, she did say she's sorry. Janet, don't say you're sorry. Don't do it, because these white people will throw you in the bus even worse. Don't you do it, sister. You better stay black. I know your family's all goopy and fucking cracker crazy. Your brother was like, you better stay black, lady, because black people are already defending you. And you see your bootlicks will always come around and lick on your titty because they want your influence. Oh, Janet, you're so great. And all your dumbass interviews they want to get from you. They throwing you on the bus for they white masters. So you better, because they're already talking about your nose is all fucked up. Yeah, you're talking about somebody white, you got a fucked up nose.
Know what she said, because it's been one thing and another. Look, I think Janet Jackson, like every other American, whether you're a celebrity or not, has a right
That's right.
to endorse, support, or not support whomever they want. So she's got every right to not like Kamala Harris if she doesn't want to.
But that's not what she said.
What she doesn't know, what she did was spread misinformation. And I think it's very irresponsible when you have a platform the way Janet.
No, exactly. See, they don't want to see. They want her to get on code and do what she told her to do. Her influence, her platform. Because she's still a big star. Maybe not as big as she was. Maybe not as big as she was back in the 90s and 80s, late 80s, early 90s, when she was a huge mega star. But she still got influence. It ain't that, and when she says she's put information, that's a lie. Go ahead, Joe.
Misinformation. Carelessly to spread misinformation based on a racist allegation by Donald Trump, right? It was Donald Trump who tried to say
this ain't no Donald Trump that brought that up. Black people brought this up. See how disrespectful this no good fucking Latino bitch is? You fraudulent ass motherfucker. You thought black people are too stupid to know who's black and who's not black, bitch? We know who's black. That ain't came from no Donald Trump. We said that 4 years ago, that this woman's not black. Ain't got to do no damn Donald. Donald Trump told you. He heard. Same thing he said from Janet Jackson. He heard that she wasn't black either. Who he heard it from us? What are you talking about? That ain't kept no, and they know this. They do disinformation. That's why they never get canceled, because it's the bidding of the Jays. They know that what they doing is a fucking lie. This is called sophisticated propaganda. They're lying. We knew that she wasn't black 4 years ago and way before that. Go ahead, Joe.
Like to say Kamala Harris just turned black. So let's just go through the 101. Kamala Harris is the daughter of 2 immigrants. Her mother is South Asian from India. Her father is black from Jamaica. Here is
He's not. Pause. He's not black from Jamaica. You're a goddamn lie, bitch. See, that's what I'm talking about. You're a duplicitous ass lie. You're a goddamn lie, lady. He is not black from Jamaica. And he told you 4 years ago when he was running, he has nothing to do with her ass because she was out there selling her coochie to get Ruja. He said he was pissed off about that. His words, not mine. He said his damn daughter's a tramp and he won't be going nowhere she's at. And he said, I'm not black. We're going to look, Google's going to hide it, but we're going to show you through YouTube.
I have a video already set aside.
Yeah, he said, okay, yeah, he said he's not black, lady, and you fucking know that. You're the one doing this. You still think black people are stupid. He's black and from Jamaica because you think you can juxtapose, like saying he's black and from Kenya, black and from Kenya, where he can be an Indian motherfucker from Kenya. You're trying to be slick because you know most people don't think because they're from Jamaica that they're black. They don't know the history of Jamaica, same way they might know the history of Kenya. The Indians were brought into Kenya. The Indians were brought into goddamn Jamaica. The British brought the Indian there where they fucking went. While there's Indians in Uganda. Indians fucking everywhere around Africa. They were brought in that motherfucker. So, she just say he's black and from Jamaica. That's a goddamn lie. He told you. I'm from the slave owners. I wasn't part of the slave class. My family were the ones who owned the slaves. We owned the plantation. Go ahead, Joe.
For all of you who need, or for Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, here's the damn picture.
I feel like a picture of Kamala.
The picture of what? What, the picture of an Indian man? A picture of an Indian man? What? Oh, because he has darker skin. He's Indian, lady, not African. That picture don't mean shit. There's a bunch of Indians way darker than my ass. Don't mean they're Africans. They're Indians. So you trying to be slick. You doing the misinformation. You no good, bro. So here go that picture. You know, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, Miss Jackson, here go the picture. Picture of what? You show me an Indian motherfucker? That's what you showed me. Somebody said Indian. So what? You think there's not Indians darker than me and Joby? This Indian's darker than Joby. What are you talking about? But you think everybody's stupid, especially black people. Look at the picture. What? Well, so what? What about the picture? He's Indian. That's crazy as cat shit.
Yeah, shout out to Steppers. Everyone on TikTok, if you guys would love to see the video, you can come on YouTube under Blackout Fire Network. Big up to Big Shot, shout out to Mark, shout out to Mab. Everyone who's there. I hope you guys are doing great.
I feel like a picture of Kamala also would have done, Kamala Harris would have done the trick. And I thought of it less from the perspective of Janet Jackson, who's an icon, and I refuse to say anything bad about. Listen, we forget that we live in information silos. This is so different than how the media was.
This how disinformation works. This how misinformation works. The same people control your media. All these raggedy bitches know they lie, so don't think they're good. They don't know what they're doing. I want you to know that all these no good bastards are evil. They know what they're doing. They're getting paid to spread a lie. They're getting paid money to spread this lie. Every one of them raggedy bitches know that they're lying, because this already been settled 4 years ago. When her daddy already said, "Go, Joe, what you about to play?"
Yeah, the next one I'm gonna play is of this other poem. Let me see where it's taking us. Okay, I think it is an ad or something.
Janet Jackson, look at the picture. So you showed me a dark-skinned Indian. What the fuck does that mean? I want you to pull up on YouTube, say, but Kamala Harris says, "I'm proud to be the first East Asian Vice President of the United States." She didn't say black. East Asian. Go to YouTube and say, Kamala Harris says, "I'm proud to be the first East Asian Vice President." Because that's what she is. Right.
Clarify her
that's what she is.
Shortly after announcing her intentions to run for president in 2020, Kamala Harris appeared on New York City's WWPR Breakfast Club and was asked to clarify her stance on legalizing marijuana.
They say you oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
and look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
During the interview, the California senator also admitted to using marijuana.
That's not true.
Half her family's from Jamaica.
And look, I joke about it.
All Jamaicans are weed heads.
Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
During the interview, the California senator also admitted to using marijuana in the past, but it was the remark about her Jamaican roots that drew the ire of one specific person, Kamala Harris's father. Donald Harris, who makes up the Jamaican part of Kamala's background, didn't care for his daughter's joke on that part of her heritage. The elder Harris, an emeritus professor of economics at Stanford University, sent an unsolicited statement to Jamaica Global Online, saying his deceased parents and grandparents must be spinning in their graves for having the family's name connected, quote, jokingly or not, with a fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker and in the pursuit of identity politics. Going on to say, quote, speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. According to Politico, Harris's parents divorced when she was young, and while her father remained in her life, Kamala was raised by her mother. Harris's campaign did not comment on her father's statement.
Okay, so let me see if I can find this other video, the one in pulled aside. I don't know why YouTube is not allowing me to see them.
So understand. So dad was already upset because she tried to say, "Oh, Jamaicans," because she was talking about the black that are weed smokers and weed, all these Rasta niggas with these Bob Marley looking motherfuckers, those ganja man and Haile Selassie, all them retarded ass. Now people think it's Jamaican, they think those are minorities. Them goopy Rasta niggas are the majority of Jamaicans. See, that's why I say about media is so dangerous and so powerful. They think all these fucking reggae niggas are the majority of Jamaicans. They're not. They were outcast and laughed at. These goopy niggas, Haile Selassie, oh, that's Jamaican. That's not the regular Jamaican. Those were the minority. Those were called the goopy class. Ask Samuel told you. Everybody thought the Bob Marleys were morons, goofballs. They're not the majority of Jamaicans. So when you see that, they think all Jamaicans smoking joints and got them goofy hats and that's a stereotype. They were the minority. They were considered goofballs and more. I knew that. All that goofy reggae shit. They were considered the goofballs of Jamaica. They weren't the everyday Jamaican.
Let me try read this article right here. It says the lesser you know side of the Harris identity, Asian American. It says some Asian American leaders are rooting for Kamala Harris to become the first Asian American president, but she is not widely known as Asian American, reflecting the complexity of the identity. Daniel Chiang can remember one Asian American who ran for president in 2020, Andrew Yang, a Taiwanese American entrepreneur, but he was surprised to learn last week that there was another person running for president then and in 2024 who counted herself as an Asian American. That is Kamala Harris. And says, I never got that impression. And Miss Harris, the vice president and likely Democratic nominee for president, is known widely as the first black woman to be elected vice president.
That's the media now saying that. No, she said everybody knows she's an Asian, but the media now, because the media is so powerful, she's a black woman. You know she's black. She's a black woman. She's black. She's black. So everybody don't understand the media job. Oh yeah, she's a black woman. Then they ain't dug into her history and none of that shit. They just say what the media told them.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Mzales, not Mzales, Steppers, shout out to you. You're saying, do we even recognize, before I continue the article, do we even recognize Tanzania being the first successful East African country with a lady president? She's a coon. I was reading today's report of what is happening in Tanzania.
We accept that she's a black woman, but she's still a bootlicking coon. She's still a fucking
he's asking
no
about
puppet.
Suluhu.
I know, that's what I said. We acknowledge she's the first black president of Africa. Yeah, we said that. She's the first black woman of an African country. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. But she's still a bootlicking coon. She's still a no good, dirty white puppet. That's why they put her ass and then got rid of John Magufuli ass. They put her no good. She's the one stealing land for Arabs. She's the one misplacing the damn Messiah, stealing their lands and giving it to Arabs and shit. How the hell are you giving land to other goddamn people and throwing African tribes off their homeland? How the hell are you doing that? Because you're a puppet. Who does some wicked ass shit like that? Tell me about that.
To continue, it says, but Miss Harris, whose mother immigrated from India and whose father immigrated from Jamaica, is less known as Indian American and Asian American. Asked to name a famous Asian American, only 2% of Americans said Kamala Harris, according to a recently survey by the Asian American Foundation. Miss Harris, it doesn't.
That's all cap. That's all lie. Because they know she's Asian. Because everywhere she goes, she tells them she's Asian. And she's done shit what for Asian people? She ain't done shit for nobody black. And told you she wasn't doing no shit for nobody black. Everything she's done has been for Asian people. And that's a fact. She's locked up black people. She's stolen money from black people. She's incarcerated black people. Kept them in there for slave labor. That's what this no good duplicitous bitch has done. They're trying to throw that fake black foot. This lady's more African than goddamn Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton's an African, then goddamn Kamala Harris is an African too then. Get out and talking that dumb shit to me. Mm-hmm. And then when you see, when she went to Zambia, talking about her grandfather who was in Zambia, her grandfather was an Indian in Zambia. He was the slave master man. Fucking Zambian Africans up. That's her daddy. I mean, granddaddy. Go look him up, her granddaddy. He wasn't no African in no fucking Zambia. He was there when they was called Rhodesia, when the white man controlled it, and the Indians were what? The buffer race to keep Africans subdued and down. That was her granddaddy. Go look that up. He was in Zambia as no damn African getting fucked up by the white. Remember, Zambia and Zimbabwe was called Northern Rhodesia and Southern Rhodesia, where the white people settled to keep the country, keep them African lands. So they brought the Indians in, just like they wanted to do in Kenya. That's why the Indians are in Kenya today, to be a buffer race, to be on top of the Africans. That's why the Indians are in Kenya. Went there to be your friend, went there to help out. The British brought them in as a buffer race. You don't know what a buffer race is, you better look it up. Buffer races are to keep white people on top, black people on the bottom, and the buffer race in the middle. So the buffer race would unite with white people to keep fucking up black people. That's why they brought them everywhere they went. That's why you got Indians in Jamaica, Indians in Uganda, Indians in goddamn Ghana, Indians in Nigeria. And where the British went, they brought the fucking Indians. Okay? Well, you got Indians in Jamaica, Indians in fucking Barbados, Indians in the Bahamas. And where the British went, they brought that Indian. That's why you got Indians in what? Guyana and Suriname when the British controlled that. They brought the Indian in with them. Why you got British? Why you got Indians in Suriname? Why you got Indians in what? Trinidad and Tobago. The Africans were the slaves in the islands. And colonial time, you was semi-slavery in the colonial times, but you're full-fledged slavery in America in the islands. So Trinidad and Tobago, the niggas that were there, those were the slaves. The Indians were brought in as the buffer race. Okay? Well, you got Indians in Trinidad and Tobago, where that goopy Nicki Minaj is from. Okay? And where they go, they brought that Indian in there. That's why they're there.
As we go through the comments, I also see Stepan says everyone deserves a chance. Let's not be driven by fake history. I don't know what you mean by fake history, but whatever is happening in Tanzania with Suluhu, she's not. We give her the acknowledgement for being the first.
Fake history. Before I come at you, Stepan, elaborate. What fake history are you referring to? So I won't have to come at. What fake history are you referring to, Steph? Let me know what history you're talking about, so I can understand where you're coming from. So I can distinguish what fake history you're talking about.
Sure.
So let me know.
Yeah, Ziba says it will be awesome. Trump sat down with her dad for a televised interview.
I know.
Lol, I know. And that he also says Janet manager issued an apology. Janet fired him and quashed an apology, pulled it back.
That's
She never
right.
apologized.
But she learned that. She learned not to apologize because they throw you in a bus for black people. They always want you to apologize. Can you apologize? If Joey said something that was right, they'll come in and say, Joey, how dare you? Now, at first they loved Joey, right? They say, oh, Joey's so beautiful. You love it. Now, when Joey does something against them, they say, Joey, you're no good black bitch. How dare you, you black dirty bitch. You better say you're sorry. Joey, are you sorry? Joey, when you going to say you're sorry? Joey, are you sorry? Joey, are you sorry?
In my death. That's what we say, sorry. Steppers says, tell me something about red Indians.
Red Indians? Are you talking about the American Indian that was wiped out? What are you talking about? We talking about East Indians. Are you confusing your Indians, man? Kamala's not a red Indian. She's an East Indian. God damn. She's the same kind of Indian you got in Kenya, dude. She's not a red Indian from America. She's an East Indian, the same kind of Indians you got in Kenya. She's that Indian. God damn.
Indians. But also, Jibba says, so saying you're not black is racist, but calling someone black is racist. This is a nut land. And another dummy black man also says, say your voice, kid, do not yell at dummy.
I know.
Okay.
I need my voice for this weekend. That's right. Go ahead.
Shout out to Ansankenon Karibu Sana. And also see Ansankenon says, black as that wall behind Jib. I worked with one. I'm not getting that. But anyway, Jibba also says, I know Indians dark as Michael Jordan. And
yeah, exactly. He was saying black is that wall behind you, Joby, because they come darker than us, but they're still Indian. Okay. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Continue the sentence right here down below.
Exactly. Yeah, I got what he said. Because I've seen Indians dark. I've seen Indians blacker than a motherfucker. But I knew they was Indian because, of course, they got that hair. So I knew it was an Indian. So exactly. You know, who was that guy? Who was that lady's brother who shaved his head to pretend he was a black person to get a college tuition? He said he was black. It says he couldn't prove he was dark as hell, so he just shaved off all his hair and said he was African. Who was that, guys? What's his name? What was sister? Is that a sister's name was what? Mindy something. You guys know his name? Mindy something. Okay, I'm having Joey look it up on Google. Say the Indian star. She's not even a star. That's loosely. We didn't say a star. Let's say the Indian actress whose brother pretended to be black. The Indian actress brother who pretended to be black to get into college. What was her name? Mindy some shit. That's her name, Mindy? Kaylin? That's her name, Mindy? My brother said, fuck this, I'm gonna pretend to be a nigga, shave my head so they won't know I'm not black. Because he's dark. Mindy Kaylin. That's his name right there. That's his name, Mindy Kaylin. Damn that shit, Joey.
Yeah, I'm pretending. Whatever you say, the nigga.
All right. I'm pretending to be a nigga. Get me a college education, Joey.
I also see the Bajamba said earlier, no mention on the millions that died in the cane fields. And also see KW Don Karipusana doing amazing. Big Cheese also said, go to any gas station at 7-Eleven and tell those people they are black.
They'll shoot the shit out your ass. They'll shoot the shit out you. And I think they got control of all the 7-Elevens now in America. Pull this up, Joby. Say, dude, Do East Indians own the majority of number 7, and the right 11? Do East Indians own the majorities of 7-Elevens in America? I think they own the majority of them. You damn right. Go on them and call them black. Hey, say, are you African? They say they'll shoot that shit out your ass. They say, is this gun got a bullet in it?
They say that in the 1980s and 1990s, convenience stores provided a soft landing for thousands of South Asian immigrants in the U.S. Since then.
Exactly.
They have come to
See,
150.
remember, because they brought 50 Cent they almost stuff like Joby said. Remember, because they were allowed to come in and get loans, Joby. They were giving businesses, Joby. They're a buffer race. See, we're not giving business, but they were immigrants coming from India, giving money, Joby, to open businesses, so they wouldn't be on the bottom.
And
you get how it works? Go ahead,
7 locations. That is what they're saying.
You said what now?
And 70% of the 7-Eleven locations.
Those are 70%. They own the majority of them now. So in 20, 30 years, they own the majority, Joe. But that's $1 billion business that was given to them. Given to them. Make sure black people don't have nothing. They came in, they had no money coming in. They're broke. They from fucked up India. They have shit. So they were given, that's what I mean, a buffer race. Understand what a buffer race is? So they would come in. Now they own 70% of that business, which is $1 billion business.
Mm-hmm. Stepper says, Mahatma Gandhi said, "Our greatest ability is as humans, not to change the world, but to change ourselves."
Wow, are you? Stephens, I'm about to give you this work, nigga. You're about to get this work. I'm sorry. Stephens, you about to get this work. Okay? I love you, brother. I'm saying this is in love, brother. This is in love. Don't think of me beating you up. Think of me teaching you. First of all, Gandhi was a no good, racist ass, dirty Indian pedophile. Yeah, I'm about to fuck your mind up. Because you don't even know. You give me quotes from a no good, dirty, fucking racist ass pedophile. Gandhi hated your black ass. Okay? I'm about to hurt you. Gandhi hated you. Hated your black ass. He said you were dumb and fucking stupid, and you were supposed to be a beast in the field. Okay? That's you. He said about African people. You. He said Africans are stupid and supposed to be beasts of burdens. That means you're supposed to do labor. You're supposed to be a slave. If you don't know what a beast of burden, that means that was a euphemism for slavery. Okay? You were supposed to be a beast of burden, a slave. This is Gandhi. That's why I told you the educational system in Africa has got to be completely fucking torn down. He's giving me some dumbass Gandhi quote. You know, Gandhi said it's good if you suck your own dick and digging with little girls' booty holes. Gandhi said that. What? Listen, Stephens, don't bring me shit about no fucking pedophilic ass, child rapist ass Gandhi. I know I'm fucking your mind up because you believe Gandhi was a good man. You probably believe that Mother Teresa shit too. Huh?
He says Gandhi meant good.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Joe gets mad when I'm talking about. I want to see that. This is why Africa's dominated. He has no, you sound crazy. Do you know most Africans now, they know Gandhi's a piece of shit. You know, Ghana is now taking down the Gandhi statue outside of one of their universities because they know he's racist and shit. You know, Senegal is taking Gandhi off their they had a big statue of a black man and a black woman. It's beautiful. That Gandhi punk ass in this statue. They took that shit out of there. Because you, as an African, you don't know shit. Gandhi didn't like your ass, okay? He wasn't a good man. All the shit about Gandhi is a lie.
You can do
I'm telling you this because I love you.
If you know how to look in between,
you can do research. You probably
do research clearly, like do research details by details with the words you've gotten here. Go do research. Just Pole pole utapata all the details.
His whole mind is fucked up. See, he's a good man. His whole mind is destroyed from what I just told him the truth. And what I'm telling you, Steph, as an African, I told you the truth. But you're going to defend some Indian pedophile to me because your mind is fucked up. You're going to defend him.
Continue. As you get to continue on the comments as we get closer to winding up, I see another dummy black man also said, when I went to the Kingston, Jamaica in the early 1980s, I did not see any Asian, just rich Caucasians people living on the beach.
Oh, the Caucasians live, exactly. You see the Indians live mostly on the, we're using Kingston. Most of the Indians are up on the north side because they were part of those plantations up there, up on the north side of the island. You know, because they got their own communities over there. When I've seen their ass. I was like you. I didn't know there was. I guess I was stupid too because I said there's a lot of white people. I didn't know. I forgot that it was a colony. Of course, white people live good. They don't never want to leave. They don't want to live good in these colonies, like in Kenya and South Africa. You're right. I was surprised too. I said, there's a lot of white motherfuckers around. I said that we went on a college trip our senior year. And I'm right. I just, in my mind, that Jamaica, all black. And I said, a lot of white people here. Damn, and I see the black people all fucked up, impoverished, and all the white people living all good at the beach houses, laughing all good. Like, wow. That was my first trip out of the country. Damn, Jamaica. My first trip out of the country was Jamaica. Damn. That was my first. It wasn't Canada. It might have been Canada, but I don't consider Canada another country. That's like America. But my first trip actually out of the country was Jamaica. I guess I was like, a lot of white people here. And I was shocked by that. I don't know why. I was shocked. A lot of white people over here, man.
Shout out to Lando in the building.
Lando.
I also see that why are we? There's a question you did pose right here.
What is that?
Yourself. I'm in Virginia. Hope it doesn't hit our shows.
You got the hurricanes coming up. Yeah, it's coming up through Florida. It's going to hit all of Florida. It's going to hit all of northern Florida. It's supposed to hit like the Bend, Tallahassee back to Jacksonville. But hell, I'm not in Florida right now. So I don't know if it's supposed to hit Pensacola or not. I'll find out when I get home if my house is all fucked up. I'll bring step ass in. I bring step ass in as a beast of burden, like Gandhi told me to. I say, step ass, where your ass at? Time to get to work, nigga. Mm-hmm. Time to get to work and get to work now.
He also said, as we get closer to, because I know this conversation is not gonna end. He said, remember he once said, serve without humility. Serve without humility. Is selfishness and egotism. He also says if Gandhi was a bad person, he wouldn't care about humanity and its future.
Wow, you are fucked up in the head, step ass. God damn. See, that's the problem I'm talking about. Step ass, you have to die. You have to talk to your children. You're too far gone, brother. That's why you're dangerous. Like Sister Eric Carter said, his mind is he's got a colonized mind. I couldn't even. You step ass. I would bet you $1,000, and anybody would tell you that Gandhi was no good. He wasn't a good person, guy. And you're so badly messed up in the head, and this is crazy. And I got as an African giving you love. You're so far fucked up. I'm telling you, step ass. Listen to me. Gandhi was not a good person. He was not a good man. This is well known now. This ain't even this is not a secret no more. Step ass. This is what Joby, pull this up with just for step ass. Pull this up. Okay. Say Ghana takes down the Gandhi statue in the university. And they're going to tell you they did because he's racist. And also Senegal, all Africa started doing this. So I want to just read this. This is what Ghana did. Said they went back and knew he's racist. fucked up. The history you got, Step-ass, is a lie. It's made up. He's a horrible human being. Anybody fucking a child, Step-ass, is a terrible human being. He fucks children.
This was in 2018, December 13th.
Yeah.
An article from BBC. It says a statue of Mahatma
Gandhi and his great soul.
Independence leader has been removed from a university campus in Ghana capital Accra. The University of Ghana lecturers began a petition for its removal shortly after it was unveiled in 2016 by India former President Pranab Mukherjee. And this petition said that Gandhi was a racist. The African heroes should be brought first. In the wake up, the government at the time said that the statue would be relocated.
They tore it down. They tore it down, Step-ass, because the Africans started learning the truth that he's racist. That's Ghana telling. That's not me telling you that these are facts. I've been to he's racist. Wait, I've been 30 years ago to the motherfucker wasn't no good. I'm telling you, Step-ass. It's not just Ghana. All throughout Africa, they removed the statues because they start learning the truth. He's racist, Step-ass. He's racist, man. I'm not telling you that because I want to make him racist. He's racist. He didn't like your black ass. You do if you wasn't a good man, you naming all these dumbass quotes. Fuck them quotes you reading. He didn't like you, Step-ass, because you're black. You're African. He said you were supposed to be a beast of burden and that you stuck. These are his words. Get some of them quotes, Step-ass. You won't find those, huh? He said you, as an African, you stuck.
I want to read this article here. They're calling it a controversial part because anything they call a controversial on Google, you know, it's facts, right? So they're saying Mahatma Gandhi, also known as Gandhiji, is considered as one of the greatest leaders in India history. His philosophy of non-violence and whatever. I'm just gonna skip all that. But they're also saying that his experiments with sex, his views on racism, his stance on the caste system, and his economic policies are explained. The experiment with sex is that Gandhi's personal life was marked by some controversial experiments. In 1946, he conducted an experiment where he slept with naked young girls, including his granddaughters.
An experiment, Joby. That's what they're trying to make an experiment with sleeping with girls and fucking them. That's what I call an experiment, Joby. Putting my dick in young girls is now an experiment, Joby. Shout out to Step-ass. So me putting my dick in my niece, Joby. What was that, his niece? Me putting my dick in my niece is described as an experiment, Joby. I don't know how my dick is going to go in my niece. I'm going to experiment on her coochie.
That's pedophile. That's a
he's a pedophile, Joby. He's a pedophile. Step-ass don't want to know that. He's a pedophile. Go ahead.
This raised eyebrows and shocked many of his supporters. However, it was an attempt of Gandhi to test his own self-control and overcome his sexual desires.
Why would you have sexual desires for children, Joby? You're a pedophile. Sexual desires.
Views on racism is that Gandhi's time in South Africa exposed him as a racist, discrimination and inequality. While fighting against the discrimination faced by Indians, he held somewhat controversial views about Black Africans. He believed that people should respect Indians more than Black Africans and made derogatory remarks about them. These views have been subject of criticisms and debate till to date.
Exactly. So there you go, Step-ass. You couldn't find that. He said black people were stupid, you're a beast of burdens, and you're a fucking moron, and you're supposed to be a slave. He told the white man, don't enslave us, we're more like you. Enslave these niggas. These niggas are backward, they're stupid, and they stink. He said we stink. Okay? That's your hero, Step-ass. These are facts. Okay? So you didn't know that. These are facts. Not my facts. These are facts. When Ghana finally found out they tore down the statue because he's racist. Him having experiments with kids is not an experiment. You're not putting your dick in a child. I'm experimenting against my sexuality. See if I can stop my urges. Who the fuck has urges with a child? He's a pedophile. They would have an experiment. You know, if a black man did that, they would say he's a dirty pedophile. They would say, you know, Big Cheese was experiment with his children by putting his dick in them.
Crazy. But as we wind up, the stance of the caste system, they're saying that Gandhi played a significant role in fighting against untouchability and improving the social status of Dalitis.
That's for Indian.
Sorry. However, he did not advocate for the complete eradication of the caste system.
Exactly, for black people.
The caste or caste?
Caste meaning black people supposed to be on the bottom, Joe. So they have a caste system. That's what they've got. Kamala Harris has got that caste. She's a Brahmin Indian. So they hate African and black people supposed to be on the bottom, Joe. That's where the European actually got that shit from. That black from the Indians. That caste system. That black people are always supposed to be on the bottom. So you hear that step ass. Gandhi believe in you, your black ass. These are facts he's reading. Not my facts. These are facts over 100 years ago. Not mine. He was a good man, a good humanitarian.
I'm saying he believed that the caste system had a role to play in maintaining the social order of the Hindu society. These viewpoints led to disagreement with leaders like B.R. Ambedkar, who accused Gandhi of using Dalits for political gain. And the last one is the economic policies, which Gandhi economic philosophy emphasized self-reliance and small-scale industries. He was critical of industrialization and believed that countries should focus on consuming what they produce. However, his economic
What happened, Joby? What happened, Joby? They kicked his racist ass out of South Africa. So he was a gentleman. So that's why he went back to India. They kicked his ass out of there. He said, get your racist ass out of here. Take your punk ass back to India and do it to Indians. Go over there. Get your ass out of here. That's how he ended up back in India, Joe. He was kicked out of South Africa. Africans said, get the fuck out of here.
I think back in 2021, when I first learned about him, I remember, shout out to you, you came on the show and you taught me his racism. And we got into the video because I went into some of the videos. They showed how he controlled the economic system, how he was racist. Literally, it was crazy. I remember me sharing that video on one of my shows on the
racist as shit. But they tried to make him a good man. That was all that British propaganda they gave people. I grew up thinking he was good too. I didn't know he was fucked up. I was just like step ass. I'm not lying, because they gave you a fucked up movie, Gandhi, the great Mahatma. They leave out all the racist shit he did to black people. Then I started studying this motherfucker, because I started studying Martin Luther King first. I said, why would he take this Indian dude? They try to wrap Martin Luther King up with Gandhi and try to test the same thing. I said, well, who the fuck is this Gandhi motherfucker then? I want to know about this Martin Luther King punk ass that people's always worshiping and he was always fucked up. So I went back to Gandhi and I said, what? Everything, what? This Gandhi is a pedophilic ass racist crackpot. And I said, now I'm about to go in on this MLK nigga too.
But as we wind up, Steppers, it's Blackout Fire Network, and this is what we do. We're here to learn, educate. So don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal, brother. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Learn. Don't get upset because one of your heroes got. There are no sacred cause. You're here to learn, Steppers. You're not to have of some motherfucker you don't even know that's not even African. He's an Indian that hated your ass. And that's just a fact. I'm sorry I had to bust your bubble about someone you thought was your hero and was a good person. He was not. He was wickedly fucking evil. And that's the fact of what he was.
He even left, I think he left the conversation, but shout out to Steppers.
Of course. They get scared. My hero. Oh, I'm an African man, I can't take it. I told these Africans get scared, but from South Africa. I knew when he was coming back. Tempo. Oh, no. Yeah. So.
Anyway, as we wind up, shout out to John Mosquito. I see your comments. Shout out to Big Cheese.
What did he say? What did he say? What everybody say?
I'm at the point where I'm at a zero tolerance of people who refuse to wake up. Believing Gandhi was a good man makes you a dangerous person to our people.
It does. That's what Sister Erica. I agree. It makes you dangerous. You fucking dangerous. Somebody's giving you information. Joby could have gave him the website when she looked all that up. He didn't want to hear it. He wanted to still believe this fucking crazy shit about this man being a good man. He wanted to believe that no matter what. He's dangerous. He's an African. He's fucking dangerous.
I also see another dummy black man says, Kid, I can tell you a lot of stories about Caribbean Caucasian called our captain about niggers being on the beach. I don't know what that means. But this one also says, I learned about Gandhi in the 6th grade. Even my mother said that is a racist, wicked creature. He also asked that did the cartoon South Park make fun of Gandhi and them creatures got upset? All right.
Yeah, they got pickers a lot. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know none of that yet. I didn't know none of that yet at all. Comment is that Jason? That was Jason's comment, I think. I didn't know none of that. I grew up like step ass. I didn't know Gandhi was wicked till I was grown. I was like 25 or something. I didn't know Gandhi was wicked. I was like that. Great Mahatma, all the propaganda I was given. That's how you know. That's how the media is so powerful. It can shake you. It give you a fake reality. So I was just like Steppers or Joby. I didn't know. Like when I told the girls that Mother Teresa was no good. But I remember Joby and Kay's like, what? What are you talking about? Not Mother Teresa. I said, that wicked ass, no good bitch.
I was going to calm down. Calm down. Hey.
What did he do? What did a mosquito do?
He said his name is Steppers. What do you expect? It's because of the way Kid is pronouncing it. Kid is the one who's always pronouncing his name bad.
Well,
Steppers, not Steppers.
I apologize. God damn.
But anyway, family, wrapping it up there with today's conversation. It's been amazing. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Shout out to everyone who has been with us on TikTok from the beginning. Big shot, Mark Kamago, Marv, John Mosquito. Thank you so much for being there. Jiba Jabba, Big Cheese, Jason, KW John, Lando. I saw him asking earlier, why are we living we are living in a savage system? Why do we expect justice? We must fight for justice.
That's true, but we gotta fight for it. I mean, I don't think we expect it. We never get it, but I think we gotta fight for it. You know, shout out to Janet Jackson for not being scared to say her truth, because she had to know. I don't want to say Janet Jackson was too stupid to know that they were gonna throw her under the bus. I don't want to say she's that dumb. You know, I don't want to say that she wasn't gonna know that. Hoping that she knew it, and maybe she was being a little brave.
But anyway, family, wrap it up here with today's show. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, but of course on the network. Remember, it shall be me coming.
Pretty soon, on Joby's what's it called, the culture show. Joby's gonna be playing Chinese reggae.
Oh no!
Because the Chinese in Jamaica saying they the ones created reggae.
But anyway, much love. See you guys tomorrow. We're not doing that here.
That's what they do.
I love my Jamaicans so bad. You know?
That's what they do.
You know, and my South African people.
I'm about to say, hold on, Joby. Is it Jamaicans or South Africans? Which one over which?
I like to laugh. That's all. You know, that's it. Yeah, serious. Much love. See you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves a beautiful day.
Nobody could do it, but I come too much. And the book is your shadow, the book I put on my biting door. It's cheeky, happiness, every feeling, my life no stress.